that's a form of collective conditioning for humanity. Everybody inherits that. Thousands of years of conditioning of the human mind, of identifying increasingly more and more with mind activity and a sense of self derived from mental concepts of who I am. That I need to revive in my mind continuously and think about my life and my problems and talk about it to others so that they can confirm that my problems and my story are indeed very serious and real, absolutely real. Yes, you're right. You should be unhappy. So how can you undo, if you recognize the madness of living in such a way with a noise machine in the head, how can you undo thousands of years of collective mental conditioning, human conditioning? Do we need another 1,000 years to undo that? Or another 30 years, a lifetime, 2 lifetimes, 3 lifetimes? The mind would be happy with that if I could tell. Some of you would be happy if I told you you need 2 more lifetimes and then you'll be okay, free, liberated. Oh, okay, I can live with that. 2 more lifetimes of unhappiness. The mind would also be very happy, go away here, if I gave a recipe, a chart, for the next 7 years of how to become free of your mind and your mind-made sense of self. The mind would be happy because the mind loves future. It loves to be given more time. The mind loves more of anything. In fact, it's looking for more. Whatever it is, I need more to feel more fulfilled, fuller myself. I'm not fully myself yet, says the mind-made self, because the story of me has not yet found its satisfying conclusion, hasn't fully developed yet. I haven't started living yet, I'm only 85. I'm still waiting. I'm waiting to make it. Finally, he made it. And those who make it, that's a funny expression, whatever that means, are successful in the world, or what the world considers to be success. And those who make it, they get a little high, as if in a drug, and then they're just as unhappy as those who haven't made it. I've met many who made it in the eyes of the world, and they recognize it's an illusion. It didn't make me happy, fulfilled, at peace. I still wake up in the middle of the night in fear. So nothing, no more is given to you, not even time, because this is the wonderful thing that the mind doesn't like to hear. To be free of thousands of years of conditioning does not require time or future. At this moment, you can step out of the movement of thought. And allow, quite simply, an alert presence to be there. You are not here any longer as the carrier of your personal history, but you are here as an alive field of aware presence. A moment, a gap in the stream of thought. Oh, to the mind, it's not significant. It's the greatest thing that can happen to you. Those of you who are still not quite there, 2 little hints that may be helpful. As you listen to these words, you may be able to feel the inner energy field of your body, the aliveness that undoubtedly is there in your body, the inner sense of aliveness, very subtle in the background. Your hands, your arms, your legs, your entire body has an inner aliveness to it. Most humans never feel that they are alive, that every cell is alive, intelligently alive, because the body is fulfilling thousands of functions simultaneously. So there is an intelligence at work in what looks like a physical body, the intelligence that coordinates the thousands of functions of the body is not something that you can see. Nobody has seen it. And yet it is there. You are not doing it at this moment. You are not working your liver or your circulation or your heart or your lungs and all these countless things that are happening at this very moment. The body is looking after itself. It has its own intelligence that in many ways is greater than what the mind could do. So the aliveness in the body is an intelligent aliveness. And the wonderful thing is when you direct attention there, it removes attention away from thinking. You cannot feel the aliveness of the inner body and think a lot. Doesn't work, because you haven't got, the consciousness is taken out of thinking and moves into the body. Feel that, just feel, and then you become kind of more rooted in your being, not just the physical being, that's the external, but that which underlies the physical. You become more rooted in the being that you are, instead of living in the upper floor, which is the mind exclusively. So as you sit here and listen to the words, have some attention in your inner energy field. Feel that alive presence that you are. Listen from there with the entire being, not just with the head, so to speak. It's a little hint of where your attention is, where your sense of presence is. To be present. You can't be present just in the head. You're just thinking. When you're thinking, you're not present. All thinking is of the past. It uses past concepts. To be present here as to be rooted in yourself, in being. It's to feel that subtle sense of aliveness, and you have enough consciousness or enough attention left to listen to the words. They are not complicated. There's nothing you need to work out in your mind about these words, because they're neither interesting nor complicated. There's absolutely nothing to work out in your mind, and if your mind is telling you, oh, I have to work that out, no, you don't, it's too simple. So directing, this is one that is helpful for you. You can give you a taste of being rooted in the now, in yourself, in being, and yet not losing the ability to perceive. In fact, whether you perceive visually or through auditory perception or any other kind of perception, in fact, you perceive more clearly when you are not perceiving through the veil of continuous thinking that clouds every perception, that brings past into every perception of the now, because every perception must be now. It brings past, it colors the beautiful moment, it obscures it with past. And that's why people go through life continuously judging and interpreting according to their mental conditioning. They live in a fantasy land, Maya.